right, there you go. Hair coloring is the art and science of changing the color of the hair. All right? Hair coloring, changing the color of the hair. Now, who wants to take a crack at what is hair lightening? Come on, Greg.
Lifting the natural pigment of the hair.
I love it. Hair lightening is the partial or total removal of natural pigment or artificial color from the hair. So hair color is changing the color of the hair. Hair lightening is removing natural pigment. Now, what is the first thing we're going to do before we do a hair color service? Okay, all right. I'll sum it up in one word: analysis. When performing hair analysis for hair color services, you must analyze elasticity, texture, density, porosity, natural hair color, and contributing pigment. Each of them have a specific way that they're going to affect your service. Elasticity, that has the ability to stretch and return without breaking. And hair color, this is an important factor because it's an indication of the strength of the cortex, including the cross bonds and the melanin molecules, right? So the more elastic that hair is, right, the stronger those cross bonds, the more numerous those cross bonds, the stronger that hair actually is. Next up is texture in hair coloring, all right? Texture is the diameter of an individual hair strand and is classified as coarse, fine, or medium. Melanin is distributed differently among the textures. Fine hair has melanin granules grouped tight, right? It takes color faster and appears darker. Medium has average response time to color products. And coarse hair has larger granules and requires more processing time. This is how texture affects my hair color service. All right? Next up is density. Density is the number of hairs per square inch on the scalp. And density determines the size of the subsections to assure proper coverage. Right? So the more dense the hair is, the smaller you need, more precise you need to make your subsections so that you get uniform adhesion onto the hair with your product. That's what that means. All right? Next up is porosity. Porosity is the hair's ability to absorb moisture. It determines processing time. Hair with a high porosity level, as I mentioned earlier, is going to absorb faster and fade quicker, right? Average tends to process normally, right? That's your medium. And low porosity is resistant and more processing time and high volume developer is required, right? So resistant hair, stronger solution, right? So porosity always affects strength of solution and processing time. Porosity is always going to affect that. Does not matter what type of chemical you're using. Porosity is going to affect processing time and strength of solution. The more resistant the hair, the stronger your solution needs to be, the longer your processing time potentially is. Everybody get that? The more porous the hair, the quicker it's going to absorb, the less strength of a solution is required. All right? Next is our natural hair color. Natural hair color ranges from black to light as blonde, right? Color produced by two types of melanin, right? Color is produced by two different types of melanin. You have eumelanin and you have pheomelanin, right? Eumelanin is going to turn the hair black and brown colors. Pheomelanin is going to give you your yellow, blonde, and your red colors, right? The thickness of the hair, the number and size of the pigment granules, and the ratio of pheomelanin to eumelanin is what makes the result of hair color that you see. Last but not least, contributing pigment. Contributing pigment is the pigment that lies under the natural hair color. The foundation of hair coloring is modifying this pigment with products to create new colors. The darker the natural level, the more intense the contributing pigment is. All right, color theory. Color theory. Primary colors are true colors that cannot be created by mixing other colors together. You have three primary colors as we just mentioned: red, blue, and yellow. When mixed in equal parts, your primary colors create secondary colors. Colors with predominantly blue tones are considered cool colors. Colors with predominantly red tones are considered warm tones. Blue will darken any color. Red will lighten blue but darken yellow. And yellow will lighten any color that it's added to. Got that? All right. Next we have secondary colors. Secondary colors are created by mixing equal parts of two primary colors. Yellow and blue gives you green, blue and red gives you violet, and red and yellow gives you orange. Now you have your secondary colors of your color wheel. All right? Beyond secondary colors is tertiary colors. These are also known as quaternary colors, and they're created by mixing equal parts of a primary color to one of its adjacent secondary colors. Right? Blue-green, blue-violet, red-violet, red-orange, yellow-green, yellow-orange, right? Right? So, red-violet, blue-violet, blue-green, yellow-green, yellow-orange, red-orange. Now see that? Tertiary. Next is complementary colors. Complementary colors, as I just mentioned to you, these are primary and secondary colors that are positioned opposite each other on the color wheel. When mixed in equal parts, complementary colors neutralize each other to create a neutral tone. So again, if I got red and I want to get to a neutral tone, I simply add green. If I got orange and I want to get to a neutral tone, I simply add blue.
Neutral is brown.
Neutral is brown. All right? That's how that works. All right? Hue and tone. Hue and tone. Hue is the basic name of a color, right? Yellow, blue, etc., right? Tone describes the warmness or coolness of a color. And what did we just say? What are cool tones?
Blue, green.
And warm tones are? There we go, right? All right? Warm colors reflect more light. Cool colors absorb more light, right? Cool colors are also known as ash or drab colors. Level. Level. Level is the unit of measurement used to identify the lightness or darkness of a color. The level system ranges from 1 to 10, 1 being black, 10 being light as blonde. The system helps to identify natural color, all right? And it also assists in formulating, matching, and correcting colors, all right? Saturation or intensity refers to the degree or concentration or amount of pigment in the color. Saturation or intensity refers to the degree of concentration or the amount of pigment in the color. The strength of the color, a more saturated red is a more vivid red, right? The more saturated the product, the more dramatic the color change will be. All right. Next, we have our base color. The base color of a product is the predominant tone of the color. It greatly influences the final results.